Hello, I'm back. For this episode, we are going to start by mixing a few products. The brown mud spatter was designed to be matte, so I added some murky water wet effect to give it a satin finish. Some dark brown pigments were also applied to darken the tone a bit. Now we are going to add some darker damp earth tones over the weathering layers applied in the past episodes. I started at the rear of the hull side where most of the fresh mud would be present. Right now I am keeping this step refined to the larger areas of dried earth. Note how I am placing it on the upper parts of the components. This is where the fresh damp mud would collect as it fell from the tracks. You can see that I am only using very fine amounts at the front and lower areas of the hull. Now let's subtly blend our damp earth using enamel thinner. It is important that you wipe the excess thinner away on a piece of paper first. You can see that I'm only subtly blending the effect. Too much thinner will only turn the damp earth mix into a wash that would be more difficult to control. Subtly blending the darker earth tones in this manner makes them look more natural. Now it is becoming evident as to how different areas of dry and damp earth tones add much more authenticity to thick layers of mud. All you really need to do is carefully blend the edges. That is why it is important to remove the excess thinner first, keeping the brush damp. Too much thinner and you will lose control of the subtle blending needed for this step. I added some more areas of the mix using the speckling technique. Paper was used to keep this effect more refined to the lower parts of the running gear, where it would be mostly present. After, some smaller amounts were also added to the upper parts of the hull side. Use thinner to blend or remove any areas that you feel contain too much of the effect. Now let's move on to the front of the hull. Notice that I am using a downward motion when blending the damp earth over areas containing less mud, creating runs. The runs are a cool effect that work nicely in conjunction with the specks of dry earth. Like with the chipping in the earlier episodes, we are building the earth effects up in layers. Speckling is also a great way to subtly blend all these effects together. I kept the damp earth mostly refined to the sides of the front and rear of the hull, next to the running gear where it would mostly be. You need to be very careful because it is real easy to accidentally overdo this step. Let's move on to the upper hull. You can use a darker earth tone to create more contrast between the different plates and components. The blended damp earth on the top of the hull distinguished it from the side plate. Some thinned amounts of the mix were also placed on the outer side to make the effect less obvious. That is an important thing to know. You can use tonal shifting in the base coat, along with chipping and weathering effects to add contrast, breaking up the different parts of the model and accentuating its details. But the true skill is to make it all work while not making it too obvious.
I used the dark mud on the fenders to work with the color modulation, further accentuating the shadowed areas. In the next episode, we will continue with the Wheels of Fortune. Please click like and subscribe to the channel to see more episodes. Look for some interesting links in the description. Once more, thanks and adios till next time. Yeah, and I put it on it, so it doesn't matter.